today is about celebrating and elevating vegetables and fruit.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to showcase some plant-based cookery.
Yep.
And I think the key thing here is about giving it that centre of plate appeal. You know, that position on the menu historically is about meat, it's about fish, but actually we're going to demonstrate that you can elevate humble vegetables and fruit to be centre of the plate. All of what you're cooking today, all the recipes you've created is suitable for vegans. Okay, so dish number one. So this is the baked cabbage.
Baked cabbage, yep.
So in terms of the cabbage, you've used white cabbage. Could you use other varieties of cabbage here?
There's many varieties, you know, Mark. You've got the pointy cabbage, Hispy, and the Kraken Savoy. But for this case, we just wanted to showcase a simple, unique piece of vegetable that you can use anyone. Depending on the cooking, Savoy will give a little bit less.
Yep.
But obviously, as long as you follow the instructions, absolutely fine. Any cabbage is possible.
So you've got some pans on here, Chef. So you just want to walk us through what you've got?
Yep. So obviously the cabbage is the main staple today.
Yeah.
So this is an old dish for me personally. I'm getting a bit old in the tooth. I first come across this dish when I was in South Africa, but I thought we'd bring it to life by presenting it in a restaurant form. So quick story on that is it's basically a humble cabbage.
Yep.
And traditionally you can add any flavours you want, but for today's purpose, we're going to pimp it up with a bit of heat and a bit of sweetness as well, just to dribble it on. So what we've done here is we've basically got a cabbage, we've cut it into 6 pieces, so therefore you're going to get 4 portions out of 1 whole cabbage.
Okay.
So cost effective, great GP, great margin. So that's key to this dish.
Okay.
But also you're actually putting something which is a humble vegetable as a centre plate, rather than going around the vegan world of soya-based products. We're going to concentrate on a simple product.
Gotcha.
So all we've done is marinate it down with a bit of crunchy nut peanut butter, which is my favourite. You can use uncrunchy if you wish, entirely up to yourself. And also I've used a smoky chipotle sauce, but you can use sweet chili, normal chili. There's a cracking hot chili sauce, which we have in the business, sriracha. You can use that as well. You can use anything. But for today's purpose, we've got a smoky chipotle and peanut butter.
So stage 1 is the marinade.
Marination, and just bring it in the oven with all those flavours to marry together to get that flavour. And all we've done, a little bit of water in there, cooked it in the oven, and here we are. So what we're going to do, we're just going to place it.
So going back to cooking, how long would that take?
A piece like that,
180,
about 180 degrees, about half an hour.
Brilliant.
Obviously, just give it a poke now and then, just to make sure it's cooked. If you like it a bit more al dente, crunchy, by all means bring it out a bit.
And could you, in terms of sort of the pre-staging, char grill it before you put it in the oven?
Definitely, that gives it a lot of character.
Or pan fry it as well?
Yeah, the sweetness of the cabbage will come out. If you caramelise it, the sugar's caramelised down, so you get a better flavour.
And that's the key here, is bringing out those natural sugars, those natural flavours, which roasting and baking and pan frying and char grilling do. Okay, so you've got your cabbage on there, which looks sensational. What else are you serving with?
So we're just going to do a couple of accompaniments here. We've got a simple tomato sauce, and all I've done there is heated up in the tomatoes, a bit of lemon. I've used a bit of the cooking liquor that goes into the tomato, just to add that flavour profile. I've got a few potatoes, and we're just going to do it with a quick little salad.
Fantastic.
Nice and simple.
Okay, Chef, well, over to you. Thank you.
So this is obviously warmed up already. We've warmed up prior to where we are. We're just going to showcase it on the plate, just to give it a bit of contrast and colour.
Fantastic.
So nice little tomato sauce.
So again, the tomato sauce, is that a tin?
That's a tin standard tomato product we have in our business, a Maggi range that we use.
Fantastic.
But you use a Breaks one, anyone, doesn't make any difference. Obviously, if you're Italian, you can use Italian, but anything you want. So cabbage, let me change it over. So as you can see, you can use 1 or 2 pieces. We're going to use 2 for this option, just to give it a bit of oomph, because it's a GP-tastic, as I call it, in the kitchen. So we'll leave that as it is.
GP-tastic.
GP-tastic. That's a great little combination we use in the kitchen. And all we're going to use is a few potatoes, which are basically, I haven't used oil today, I've used vegan butter, just to caramelise the flavours, and I've added a few chives into that. So simple, a few potatoes on top.
And again, it's about adding flavour, which is really key with vegetables, isn't it? You need to get flavour, whether it's the cooking process, additional herbs, it's all about.
Correct. So we've got red, we've got white, we've got a bit of green. We're just going to add a bit of, just a little more extra texture. And all I've got here is a couple of humble leaves. I've got a bit of amaranth, a few chives, and we'll just build that up. You can add a bit of dressing to this if you want. For vegan, we're just going to leave it as it is. And I'm just going to add the humble lemon. Now this will elevate the dish. On a fine grater, either the side or that, and all we do is just a couple of sprigs over the top, shake it. And what that does is just elevates that dish a little bit more by giving it a bit of zest, but it also looks lovely.
Fantastic.
So That's it. That's your simple dish.
What about these two components over or ingredients, chef?
So these are the little sexy items that we're going to add on top. So for this purpose, we have something called pangrattato.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the history of this, but it's
Poor
just
man's parmesan.
Poor man's parmesan. But for this purpose, we'll call it herbicrum.
Yeah.
So we've just got a simple hard herbs, which is rosemary and sage,
Okay.
with a little bit of oil and breadcrumbs. And all we've done is toast it off in a pan to create what we have here.
Fantastic.
Alternatively, in the business, which I think is a cracking little side dish, is we have crispy onions, which would elevate that dish a little bit more, which is 100% vegan.
And it's one less process, so I guess that's a sub-recipe.
Correct, sub-recipe which you have
But
to
if
make
you-
for this
But you could use these straight out of the packet.
as an alternative. So for today's purpose, we'll put the pangrattato,
Okay.
then we've got the onions, we'll
Could
just
put
put that
both
as
on.
well. There we go.
Why not?
So again, all we're doing
Yeah.
is sprinkling it over the top.
And you're
Few
giving
onions.
it texture as well as flavour.
That's the key.
Again, so layering up the flavours.
That is the
got
key.
Texture.
And there we have
That looks sensational.
a wonderful core product that,
Yeah.
to me, is a piece of great cookery.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this video. Our sector specialists and chefs work alongside our video creation team, ensuring the content we provide is exactly right for your business. Whether you're running a kitchen in a pub, a coffee shop or a restaurant, care home or school, the Breaks YouTube channel has you covered. Through our work with every type of caterer, from large restaurant chains to small independent businesses, we gain and share valuable insights into the latest food trends, great ways to reduce costs, seasonal menu changes, and how to increase footfall. If it's recipes you're looking for, we have the broadest range in food service. From quick and simple ideas that are easy to prepare to fine dining modern classics for accomplished chefs. Our recipes ensure that nobody is left out. We include dietary considerations such as vegan and plant-based, gluten and dairy-free, and if it's essential food hacks you're looking for, we've got an abundance of those too. Please use the comment section below to tell us what you'd like to see in future videos. And don't forget to like this video if you found it useful and hit the subscribe button to never miss future episodes.